This is Frank Rock, House of Orange TV, in the category of I didn't see these coming this year. Tony Vitello, a couple days ago, was linked to the San Francisco Giants managerial opening. Today, it was announced by the Braves, Brian Snitker will not return as manager next year. Thank you, Brian Snitker. He brought one of 2 world championships in my lifetime. I'm appreciative of the guy. Wish him the best. But in the list of candidates come out today, obviously there's going to be guys who have played for the Braves in the past that are linked to it. But once again, outside the box, that seems to be the term being used, Tony Vitello. Like, share, subscribe. Appreciate you guys tuning in on this. And, you know, I got people that don't want to accept the reality that Vitello's name is out there for these openings. Andrew Baggerly of The Athletic, who covers the San Francisco Giants, mentioned his name a couple of days ago when Bob Melvin was fired as Giants coach, and he specifically stated it's believed that Buster Posey and Tony Vitello might have already met when the Giants played in Colorado, and both were there. He didn't say for sure, but he said there was he has a pretty good idea of it. David O'Brien of The Athletic, who's written for the Braves for years, today named his candidates. Of course, you hear the names David Ross, Mark DeRosa, Walt Weiss, Ryan Flaherty, Skip Schumacher. But then he says if the Braves go outside the box, University of Tennessee coach Tony Vitello could be a candidate. I'll be honest, with Vitello, the way his teams play, his personality, I don't think it's a match with the Braves, but I think it's a match with the Giants if he were to choose this route. If you watch the Giants play at the end of this year, they were fired up. They were doing all the things. Obviously, Drew Gilbert was there, brought a fire to that dugout. They were energetic. Not that the Braves aren't. The Braves are always like a business-like team. They'll get fired up occasionally and stuff. Don't get me wrong on that. But Vitello, to me, it seems like would link more with the Giants if he chose that route. I'm going to give you my thoughts as to why his name's out there in just a moment. But speaking, you know, with the Braves, you really don't have those UT ties that I'm aware of. The Giants, they acquired Drew Gilbert and Blake Tidwell at the trade deadline. They traded one of their top relievers for him. They drafted Gavin Keelan in the first round. You got Maya Huna. I'm just thinking of a few off the top of my head here with it. Tony Basilio said today he believed that Vitello was interviewing, might have been out in California interviewing today. Eric Kane said Vitello was in Florida recruiting, though. So apparently Vitello was somewhere today. Mixed stories. I guess you trust who you want to on that one. But here's why I think his name's out. I think there's a reason for it. Because you don't just hear college coaches' names come up. The last time a college coach, a sitting head coach, went straight from college to the majors was in 1980 when Dick Howser jumped from Florida State to the Yankees. Of course, Dick Howser, he was around for years on it. Of course, right now you've got Pat Murphy, who's the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers, but he didn't go straight from Arizona State in 2009 to Milwaukee. He was let go because of an investigation then. And, from what I read on that, and he did a great job at Arizona State, but it said he was basically given the decision due to the investigation he could resign or be fired, and he resigned. He went to the majors as like an analyst for a bit, then a bench coach. Now he's leading Milwaukee into the playoffs, doing a fantastic job. So college coaches, it's rare. It's rare. Murphy didn't go straight in. You're looking at basically 45 years ago, the last time that this happened with Dick Howser. So we'll see. Something tells me his name's being – I wonder if it's agent talk. Agents are going to talk. Obviously, candidates are vetted ahead of time. Is there a connection between Tony Vitello and Buster Posey? With the Braves, could it just be that's a hot name out there? But something tells me there's a reason his name has now come up twice for manager position. And it may end up being nothing. It may be totally nothing. All right? Don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here telling you it's imminent that Tony Vitello is going to the majors, because My thought on it is it's all just his name's out there, and nothing will come of it, just because this is almost unheard of to hear of it. Again, 45 years ago since it's happened. But a part of me wonders, does Vitello have some interest in the majors? And people consider and say, oh, he's happy at Tennessee's built a program. Let's don't make any mistake about this. I'm going to tell you the truth on this, whether you agree with me or you disagree with me on it. I love Tennessee baseball. Right now, I think it's the best job in college baseball. No ifs, no ands, no buts about it. And, there's others that make a case for it. I'm obviously biased when I say that, because there's other programs that could say the same thing on it, and I wouldn't argue with them. It's just my opinion, and it's my bias on it. None of these jobs, though, when it comes down to it, if a guy has a goal to go to the majors, it's going to replace that. It's just not. If you want to coach with the best in the world, coach the best players in the world, you would go to the majors on it. Why do guys not do it in college? I don't know the answer to that. I really don't. Vitello, he probably wouldn't make he might make a bit more in the majors, but he's making pretty good money now. I mean, he's the second highest paid coach in baseball now. He was, I think, for a bit the highest, and then Jay Johnson's deal with LSU got redone. But any of these guys, if they decide this is their job and a team, or that's their goal, and a team wants to take a chance on them, who can blame them, man? Who can blame them? I don't want Tony Vitello to go anywhere, okay? People can say what they want on it, but the fact of the matter is, by two well-respected writers with the Giants and the Braves, respectively, Tony Vitello has been mentioned as an outside-the-box candidate. That tells me it's a low possibility, but it also tells me there's something to it now that he's been mentioned twice. And again, I take what I've just learned of Baggerly with the Giants. I've followed David O'Brien for years with the Braves. If he's reporting something, I respect it, and he's got a reason to report it. My thoughts on it is this will end up being nothing, and these positions will get, they'll get filled by major league guys. Again, with the Braves, I mean, I would be surprised if it's not someone who already has ties to that organization. Posey, it seems like, is the wild card to me, because from what I've seen, they're not thinking Bruce Bochy might go to the Giants. Now, that was the first thought, because Bochy, of course, coached Buster Posey. Bochy and Texas just mutually agreed to part. Of course, Bochy's contract, I think, was up too, but Texas didn't renew him. They've not done as well the last couple of years since they won the World Series. But, it bears watching what happens. And, these rumors are not going to die down until these positions are filled with, specifically, I think, the Giants. The Braves would really shock me if they went Vitello. The Giants, not so much. Again, if you watched that team at the end of last year, I swear you wouldn't know any different if Tony Vitello was the coach. They played and acted like a Tony Vitello team, just having fun, energetic, and how they were on it. I'll keep you posted on anything out there. Right now, I think it's something to keep an eye on, the fact that his name keeps getting mentioned and, nothing's totally been shot down on it. Do I think the probability is high that he goes? No, I don't. I expect him to be in Knoxville. I mean, fall ball is going now. But we'll see. I said it a couple nights ago when I recorded the video about him being linked to the Giants. I'll say it now. If the worst case scenario happens and he goes, to me, I don't think it's going to take long to put Josh Elander in as your new head coach. That's just my opinion on it. I think that one's tailor-made for him to take over if Vitello were to take it. And Vitello's a guy you got to think. I could see him taking a risk. To be honest with you. Not much more to say than that, but, these are not clickbait articles. And people saying, oh, this happens. No, it doesn't. There was something a while. It was an April Fool's joke, if I'm not mistaken, at some point that linked Vitello to the Braves. These are, again, when writers some of the top writers for a team links a dude to the jaw or even mentions them, then, it's something to watch, even though, again, I'm kind of getting repetitious on what I'm saying here. So I'm going to end up on that one. Any more news, anything comes out, we'll put, if it just comes out, he's not going, which I don't think we expect him to, but I don't, something tells me you can't rule this one out right now. We'll see. Frank, House of Orange, have a great rest of your Wednesday, and I'll see you when I see you.